Hi students, good morning to everybody. I hope all are doing well. Pleasure to see you again. Children, we know that food, shelter and clothing are the three basic needs of an individual. In ancient time, people used large leaves of trees to cover their body. Also, we used animal skin as our clothes. After doing lot of experiments, human synthesized today's clothing. You have learned in class 6th about fibers, isn't it? Then let us recollect some points that we already learned in class 6th. There are two types of fibers. Which are that? Okay, natural fibers and man-made fibers. Natural fibers and man-made fibers. Natural fibers means what? Yes, the fibers that obtained from plants and animals. Natural fibers means the fibers that obtained from plants and animals. Then what is meant by man-made? Man-made fibers means they are synthetic fibers. Synthetic or artificial fibers which are made by man. Then can you say some examples of plant fibers? Okay, cotton, linen, jute, hemp, etc. Then which are animal fibers? Silk and wool are the main animal fibers. Then name some synthetic fibers. Polyester, nylon, rayon, acrylic, etc. So these all you examples you studied in class 6th. Plant fibers, main plant fibers are cotton, jute, linen and hemp. Animal fibers, silk and wool. From this cotton, we know that it is getting from the fruit of cotton plant. Linen, jute, hemp, they are all getting from the plant stem. Animal fibers like silk, we are getting from cocoon of the silk moth. Wool is getting from animals like sheep or yak. Then synthetic fibers means which are making by man artificially. Okay. In the last year, you studied about plant fibers. Do you know more about animal fibers? Let us know more about animal fibers today. So, we are going to start our new lesson. Which is our new lesson? Lesson 3, Fiber to Fabric. Fiber to Fabric. Children, our third lesson is Fiber to Fabric. This is our third lesson. Today let us know more about animal fibers. You may have many doubts. Which part of sheep's body yield fibers? And how these fibers are converted into fabrics? Not only that, and how these silk fibers are changing into silk, etc. etc. So let us try to find out answers for these questions. We have to go through the lesson fiber to fabric. Okay, are you ready? Yes, let us go. At first, we can discuss about animal fibers, wool and silk. Among these, first we can discuss about wool. Wool comes from animals like sheep, yak, goat, and other animals. These wool bearing animals have thick hair or fleece on their body. Do you know why these animals have this thick coat of hairs? Children, the hair trap a lot of air. Air is a poor conductor of heat. So these hairs help these animals to keep warm. We know that some of the animals like sheep, yak, etc., they are living in cold climate. So this thick fur is one of the adaptation for them to survive in their surroundings. Okay, in their habitat. So this thick fur help these animals to live in the cold habitat. Wool providing animals, they have hairs on their body, and these hairs keep their body warm. Now, let us do one activity. Feel the hairs on your body, arms, and on head. What is your observation? Do you feel any difference? While touching our hair, the outermost layer of hairs on our head is somewhat tough in touch. Hard to touch, isn't it? While we passing our fingers inner to the hairs and also near to the skin of our head, we feel soft, fluffy hairs. And they are also small in size than the external layer. Similar to us, sheep also has two types of hairs on their skin, which are, one is the coarse beard hairs. Second one is the fine, soft under hair. Wool is taking from fine, soft under hairs. Many breeds of sheep having this quality. Most of the fur is fine, soft. So, farmers are selecting the parents for obtaining special characteristics in their offsprings. So they are selecting parents for getting the quality wool. That means fine, soft wool. The selection of parents for obtaining special characteristics of their offsprings, that is called selective breeding. Selective breeding. Selective breeding. Children, here we discussed the animals which provide us wool: sheep, yak, goat and other animals like camel, rabbits, etc. These animals have two types of fur on their body. One is the coarse beard hair and the second one is the fine soft under hair. Some of the woolen items are mainly making from the fine fibers which are getting from special breeds of sheep. So farmers are selecting such breeds for obtaining this fine wool. That selection of parents for obtaining the special characteristics in their offsprings is called selective breeding. Okay? And also we understood what are the advantages of this thick fur for these animals. What is the advantage? These thick fur trapping the air. Air is a bad conductor of heat, so they keep these animals' body warm. It's one of the adaptation. Isn't it? Is it clear? Let us move on to the next topic. Okay. Students, now let us know more about animals that yield wool. There are several breeds of sheep are found in different parts of our country. However, the fibers of sheep not the only source of wool. Though the sheep wool is very common in the market. We are also getting wool from yak wool, which is popular in Tibet and Ladakh. And also we getting wool from Angora goats, the Angora wool, and the Angora wool is very fine and they are living in the hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir, the Angora wool is very famous. Goats also provide us fur or hairs as wool. The goats we are seeing in Kashmiri goats have fine hairs. That fine hairs are used to make one special shawl, mainly calling Pashmina shawl. So for making Pashmina shawl, that is using Kashmir. The Pashmina shawl is very famous. You may also have such a Kashmiri shawl. That Kashmiri shawl is made from the wool of goat. Camel also provide us wool. Mainly the varieties of camels like alpaca and llama. Alpaca and llama provide us wool which is familiar in the South America. Children, now we discussed the name of animal. We listed the name of animals, those who provide us wool, like sheep, yak, camels and goats. And also the varieties of wools: yak wool, which is famous in Tibet and Ladakh; Angora wool in Jammu and Kashmir; Kashmiri, goats provide us wool which is used to make pashmina shawl, which is very famous in Kashmir. By looking, the Kashmiri shawl is very beautiful. Different forms of arts we can see in this shawl. Colorful and very beautiful. And then we saw that some camels varieties like alpaca and llama, they also provide us wool which is famous in South America. And also we discussed about the process of selective breeding. What do you mean by selective breeding? The selection of parents to get their special characteristics in their offspring. This selective breeding usually farmers are using to get fine wool from special varieties. Okay. Here some assignments for you. You have to collect pictures of animals, those who provide us wool, and paste in your scrapbook. If it is unable to get the pictures, you can draw some pictures. Some pictures are given in our textbook also. Okay. One more assignment. Find out the words for sheep, goat, camel and yak in local languages and also in other languages in our country. The third assignment, you have to find out and locate the places in India and in the world where we getting wool from animals. You can use different colors of sketch pen to locate different varieties of animals. Okay, these are the 3 assignments today you have to do. Children, now let us wind up today's session. See you again in the next class. Thank you.